Peace and love, everybody. This is AI News with AI Erik. And once again, y'all know me. I talk AI, artificial intelligence. I got my brother here, Gabe, and from Edgy Design Group. And I'll let y'all know that I met this brother at InvestFest. So I just want y'all to know, man, InvestFest is one of the best, dopest networking conferences in the United States, man. You know what I'm saying? So I know he's a AI guy. I did a video. I couldn't find it though. I think it's on my phone. I did a video with him. He was definitely nice enough to do a video with us. And I, put it out once InvestFest was done. So my brother, introduce yourself, let people know your name, where you from, name of your business.
Yes. Yeah. Appreciate you, Erik, man. Like you said, we met at InvestFest, and man, it's been love ever since. It was great meeting you there, and we just been plugged in ever since. But I'm Gabe. My AI business is Digital All the Way. I'm located down here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and just doing anything with AIs, with your voice agents, chatbots, AI automation, just integrating AI into people's businesses. Yeah. So we talk about that a little later, but yeah, everything AI, man.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, off this, we really gotta be able to, because I gotta be able to make connects in the right places for us for businesses. Mm-hmm. And you're the one that you do the work. I need to make the connects, you know what I'm saying? So
you my missing link. Yeah, I'm the developer.
Yes. And right now, it's kind of new. We kind of educating people as we go along, and it's I'm gonna be honest with you, man. It hasn't been easy for me as far as getting people to really. Now, the thing about it, though, I think we're positioned very, very good. You seem to be positioned very well. And, I was looking through the website, you know what I'm saying? So I am going to go off course, man, because you know about AI and, I'm definitely going to make sure, like I said, once this is done, I'm going to chop this up. And this is an important one for me because I got to make sure this gets out there. And I'm going to go with the first question, then I'm going to go off, you know what I'm saying? What inspired you to start Edgy Design Group? And before you even answer that question, is Edgy Design Group and the AI thing two different things, or is it one entity?
Right. So with Edgy Design Group, I started that about 10 years ago, and it started off as web development. So I went back to school, got a certification in web development, and I was offering that to small businesses. And from there, it grew into mobile apps. From mobile apps, then it grew into my fascination for AI. So it's funny, man. Just cleaning up my office this weekend, I came across this magazine right here. I don't know if you can see it. It's from 2019, talking about artificial intelligence. So it's been on my mind way before the wave came. In 2023, but just learning about it and just couldn't wait, for it to finally hit and to start using it. And, and like you said, it is a kind of an uphill battle to get the word out. Less than 1% of the world is, number one, knows about AI, and less than 1% of the world is using AI. So it's an uphill battle. With me as a developer, I'm trying not to use a lot of technical jargon, just trying to put it as plain, as simple as I can. But it is challenging. Yeah.
Chatbot is the easiest thing to try to sell them. And let me tell you something, even that has been not easy, because I find that a lot of people are really not about their business. A lot of people might be doing things and making moves, but I don't, I'd be kind of confused about it, because sometimes I'd be like, yo, you can have a 24-hour assistant while you sleeping,
right?
Answer questions. You could be pushing it though. You can also be pushing it. So let me tell you something, man. I actually got a chatbot. I actually ended up doing it, not working with this, I'd seen the ad, start your own chatbot company where you could sell chatbots.
Okay.
Yeah. What I did was I hopped on it because I liked it. And I've been about 2 years now, I've been with 1,000 companies being an affiliate, and none of them really hit it off for me, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Except one of them, I think of the name before it's over. They want $99 a month.
$99 a month. Okay.
So try promptly.
Try promptly.
Yeah, okay. I love promptly because it does give you the ability to not know code and be able to build some nice AI gadgets.
Okay.
Yeah. And, like even like an Excel type thing, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, it's $99 a month. You can customize it, but there's a whole bunch out there. But this one in particular, I kind of like them. They sold me, but you know what happens, and I hate this, when you get sold and go in, oh, it's something else you're gonna need, really, and if you don't get it, you're really missing out. And it was all together, it was about $150. And what happened was I started building on it, and what I didn't like is it didn't have the ability to get trained off the URL. You had to copy and paste stuff from the website, and I didn't like that.
Yeah.
Because even if I have to tell someone I'm selling you this and this is what you got, I'm like, you know what? I asked them for my money back and they did give it back to me. And they understood. And I said, yo, contact me when y'all can dump the URL and let it just train off that.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So let me ask you a question, man, because I do find it hard also, as far as people understanding what this is, but how do you feel? And I understand that because people are going to be, not receptive to a technology that they don't understand. But can you explain the importance of this? Because this is not a regular technology. This is not something that's coming and it's going to fade out. To me, this is something that when they came out with 3.5, they really shouldn't have came out with it.
Yeah.
And man, people said that. It's not right. But everybody's racing. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of stores in 3.5.
Yeah.
3, then 3.5 came out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But as far as the importance of it, particularly for Black and brown people, can you explain the importance of it? Because as far as I'm concerned, if we don't get involved in this, like you're involved in it, in 2050, our median wealth is going to go to 0.
Right. Right. Yeah, we definitely got to get on board. How I try to explain to people like how quickly they see AI changing or how quickly AI can perform a task. That's, how quickly your money could grow in AI. Like I've seen with my own 2 eyes, people, like they say, exponential growth. I've seen kind of at the beginning of my journey, I came across some younger guys, and they're in a foreign country, but I seen with my own 2 eyes them dollar signs. I seen the money coming in, so you can get that exponential growth with AI. So just as quickly as AI is changing, just as quickly as AI is performing tasks, like you use Chat GPT, you get the answers instantaneously. Or whatever task the AI, you're using the AI to do. So that's something that we got to get into. We got to learn it because, like you said, it's not going anywhere. This isn't a fad. This is going to be a part of life, and we really just at the beginning stage. So people, kind of overwhelmed now. You got to get on board and start learning it because it's just going to keep going, evolving, and it's part of life now.
And I don't think people understand the importance as far as the median wealth part. And I don't know if you remember when I was out in InvestFest, I kind of tried to emphasize that as far as why I tried to explain to people the importance of it. And I'm going to break that down again.
Yeah.
Right now, the median wealth right now is at 286 for white people. and I don't like to say white people like that because I'm gonna say black people too. It's 45,000 for black people, and for Latinos it's at 61. For Asians, which is considered Chinese and Indian, and not all the Indians, these are like the Indians in the South. Okay. 553. 553. Mixed 61. I'm gonna say that again. 286, 45, 61, 553, 61. We at 45. We got 1.8 trillion that we spend. That 1.8 we don't spend it with each other. Money only stays in our hands for 30 seconds. I think in the Jewish neighborhood, I think if I'm not mistaken, 27 times. Spanish neighborhood 17 times. Whites 11 or 12 or something like that. I might not be 100% accurate, but I'm close with these numbers. But I'm accurate with this. I'm accurate with this number. Blacks 30 seconds.
That's sad, man.
Doesn't even not even a day, 2 days, 3 days, 30 seconds. And so that is bad. So that 1.8 trillion, like if we actually put that amongst ourselves, but I say that to say the statistics as far as Gen AI producing money in 2050 is going to be 1 point something trillion it's going to generate. Then it's going to be on a yearly basis. 500 billion is supposed to go to the United States out of that money, and 70 billion is supposed to go to us. Right? Okay. Out of this 500 billion, we're supposed to be getting 70 billion. Okay. But if the statistics stay like they are today, which is we make up 12, 13%, but we only get back from the get back 5%. Right. So that means in 2050, when we get that 70 billion that's supposed to come to us, it's only going to be, I think, 23 billion or something like that, or 47 billion goes somewhere else because it's the 5%. So we're not gonna, so we have to wake up. But the 85 million jobs that's gonna be gone, we know that's gonna be gone. But 97 million is supposed to be created with Gen AI. What you do and what your company does, if we don't end up becoming that, data scientists, machine learning engineers, full stack engineers, cybersecurity specialists, AI consultants, if we don't get serious and get into this world that you're doing, that you're in, and that I'm in, in 2050, like I said, our median wealth is going down. This is what I believe. Tell me if I'm wrong. If our median wealth is at zero, right? Every company in the world is going to be using AI to produce whatever they do. I don't care what it is. It could be an AI model. It could be a robot, it could be your watch, it could be anything, whatever you hold, it could be your shoe. AI is going to be in everything. Right. Let me ask you this. Who do you think they're going to say all the bottom shit, all the low parameter models, all the bullshit that they need to test out? Who they going to test out on?
It's going to be us. It's going to be the black people.
And the problem with that is, and I want you to explain to people this part right here. And the problem with that is it's going to be a 1 million parameter model while these dudes over here got 100 million parameter models. Tell the people what the problem is with that.
It's already, stacked against us if we don't start learning this. So, the time is now. Don't be afraid of AI. I say, think of an area that, that you're interested in and see how AI can help you be even better in that field. You name it. I know people using it, for content creation, writing blogs, writing ebooks. I've seen somebody whip up an ebook, man, in minutes.
They have there's an app that I actually did a video on it. I like it and I don't like it. And this is what the app does. As far as a content creator, it will watch you. Say for instance, for an hour, 2 hours, what you're doing because you said it. Now it knows how you move.
Wow.
It can make, now it's going to start generating your podcast for you. It's going to create your content. So when you wake up, you might have 4 podcasts done.
Ready to go.
But you didn't do it.
Yeah.
It did it based off. How do you feel about that?
Oh man. I still want that individual input, inspiration. Like I see you can use AI, okay, yeah, for inspiration. Maybe take some of it that it wrote to, you know, your podcast and do your spin on it. You know, even when I use Chat GPT, it's not 100% me. Like, you know, I talk to it, I give it a name, like, you know, I've uploaded like my profile so it can get to know me, but it's still, yeah, it's still not me. Like it's using words that I may not use. So I still think, you know, you need to tweak that podcast. Right. So I'm for it, just to kind of, you know, get the juices flowing. But as far as, you know, using it 100%, now I don't want everything to be plastic, everything to be fake. We still need your identity, your you know, your character in the podcast. Yeah.
But one of the problems is, and let me just go back to the one, I'm gonna go back to the 1 million compared to the 100 million parameters.
Yes.
If our median wealth goes to 0, and they're gonna try it before it even goes to 0.
Yeah.
What happens is, because we don't have a voice, we don't own nothing, they're gonna put these low parameter models, and whatever it is, it's gonna still have low parameters.
Yes.
Compared to the ones that are actually paying for their open AIs and chat GPTs and the bigger models. And those are going to have 100 million parameters. And compared, we're talking about information. We're talking about what they call like tokenization. And that's actually words, images. So basically the ones with the 1 million, you ain't really got no information in that 1 million parameter model, not like the ones with 100 million billion, because that's all the information. So they're going to limit you, and you're going to be thinking you got the same thing as them, but you're not. So what you're doing, man, so I have to just say that it has to be way more, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because see, let me tell you something. This is how I feel. We can't be used. We can use everything that's out there, but we eventually have to have our own and build our own, because what's the main AI that we're supposed to use? Like where we all get the main info.
Yes. So I guess
because if there's 1,000 out there, anybody can put bad data in a model, and if you put bad data in a model, people are going to make bad decisions.
Yeah, I think we've seen that happen. What was that? It was saying some kind of racist things.
Just flipped on the boy, told him to go kill himself.
Yeah, yes, you know, so and what I like to say, anything AI is as biased as the developer. So like you said, we do need more of us as developers. Yes, it's as biased as, you know, the person creating it. So
I'm gonna go look at. I looked at your website and I was kind of impressed. I looked at the team, and you got Max, Data Whisperer, Area. Are these actual people?
It is. Yeah. So you know, Edgy Design Group, as I said, that's been around 10 years. I got a team of 7 over there. So I'm still building my AI team, because I'm hand picking, like I did with Edgy Design Group, like only the best, you know, I want on my team. And yeah, so yeah, that's so far that's my team of 4. I got a buddy that kind of was down in the trenches with me as well. Just, man, I'm telling you, just, I mean, we pretty much, you got to be, I don't want to say addicted to AI, but with it changing so fast, I mean, I'm just gonna keep it real. There was a point in times, man, I was losing track of days, because we were just on so many Zooms. Just
this is my life, B. Yo, let me tell you something, man. And people who know me, this is my life. This is my living room.
Yeah.
I have a living room. I have a couch. This is my office, my printer.
Yeah.
I don't have, this is it, B. But this is my life. I don't do nothing but read, study. I'm behind on mad courses. People don't understand, man. Like, you got to have mentors. I met Nikki at InvestFest. I was following her. That's why it's important to go to things like this. And I've been to several conferences after that, got still more coming up. But Nikki was someone deeper than the brand. Big ups to Nikki. I actually was following before InvestFest, and I seen her. She was sitting right next to me. I was like, yo, I gave her a hat, gave her a hug. But boom, when I got back, I ended up taking her $27 course. InvestFest and her course just ignited fire under me. And I just actually spent $400 on another part of her course. That's how dope she is. So I kind of consider Nikki my coach. To be honest with you, she don't know it. Hey, big up people in the brand, Nikki. You know, I love you, girl. And so I feel like you have to have a coach. You have to continue. Like, no matter how much I know about AI, everything we're talking about can change tomorrow. Everything you build can change tomorrow. Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
This is the AI part, because I'm more interested in is this team, they're the AI team or they're the Edgy Design Group team?
AI.
Okay. AI. Max, Data Whisperer. What does he do?
Yeah, he's all on the back end. So when we're working with different companies, he's showing the data. Like, for example, I'll say a real estate company. He's crunching the numbers as far as, so for a real estate company, I know you were talking about chatbots earlier. So we'll put a chatbot on their website, and all the leads. So say somebody come to their website, they say, okay, I'm looking for a 2-bedroom, a 3-bedroom, two baths. It'll pull all of the homes that fit that description, and it can also schedule an appointment for that realtor while the realtor's sleeping. So, you know, making appointments. You know, this chatbot is helping this realtor sell homes. So,
and it's a voice chatbot.
I got those too. So I got two types of.
Before we get to that part, okay. So basically, I'm going on to their website.
Okay, right.
And I'm looking for something. Mm-hmm. And that chatbot is going to pop up. Hi, how may I help you?
Yes.
Okay. Now let me ask you this, because even before the chatbots popped up, they always had that, but it wasn't an AI chatbot. It was get your email, we'll get back to you. And some of the chatbots you can still program to do that. Yes. So before we even get to the voice chatbot, I want you to explain to people what a chatbot is and the benefits of it, basically, because I've been trying to tell people and break this down, but maybe they need to hear it from someone else. Tell me what a chatbot is, because I don't know. Yes.
I actually, man, I got a free ebook that I, just to help try to educate people on what chatbots are and why they need it. So, it's machine learning, but I guess, okay.
No, you don't gotta get it.
That's what I was about to say. That's what I was about to say.
You just tell me I'm coming to you as a new client. I sell cakes. I sell cakes. I got a bakery. I got a website. I don't got no chatbot. So I don't know how is the chatbot gonna help me?
So first I make sure they, that they can relate, that they've already seen a chatbot before. So I'll be like, when you go on the website and you see that little bubble at the, bottom of the screen, as you kind of gave an example, asking, do you need help? And they're like, oh yeah, I've talked to those before, like customer service. I'm like, yeah, like customer service. And that's exactly what it's doing. It's answering, frequently asked questions. As you stated, when you had to cut and paste the content of a website, it's basically learning all the content on your website. So we're just taking the URL, your website content, and feeding it to the chatbot. So if anybody comes to your website, it has all the knowledge that you do as the owner of the bakery. So think of it as an assistant, an employee. So it's helping to sell your product. It can tell them all the cakes and cookies that you have, what time you open, what time you close, what's the, you know, the favorite dessert of the week, anything that you want this chatbot to tell your customers. That's exactly what it can do. It can even, man, we got some that can make sales. It can recommend, hey, I'm going to a wedding on Friday. Can you, and now we're talking about a department store, like an e-commerce, a shop, people selling clothes. I'm going to a wedding on Friday. I'm wearing blue. Can you recommend an outfit for me? We got chatbots.
I'm not gonna cut you off.
Yeah.
Yo, somebody had their chatbot trained, and they was going to a function. And they took a picture. So the chatbot was like, "Yo, you can't wear that."
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's what they.
So you can't wear that for where you're going to. You know what I'm saying? So what I like about this, the chatbot. So basically, I already know. So the chatbot's basically learning from the information you fed it, your website. That's the data that you're putting in it. And then it's running through a little cycle where it's already really trained, because it's basically just taking your data. It's not like you got to really train it and fine tune it and stuff like that. But what I did notice about that joint yesterday, I was telling you about, when I asked it for my number, it didn't give it to me because I realized it wasn't in it. And I had to keep going back. It was just disappointing. That's why I was like, you know what? I don't like this one. So I'd rather the URL one. But let me ask you a question, and let the people know this. Say, for instance, I did your chatbot. Now I got that chatbot for 6 months. I've used it mad times because mad people is logging on, find all type of hours, 24 hours, different countries. And what does this give me as far as me being able to have something to learn from? Like, how can I take this data? Like, what good is this to me? Because I be trying to tell people the importance of data.
All right. Yeah, data is everything. If you're trying to grow your business, you can't just be throwing spaghetti at the wall. You got to move with purpose. So knowing the data can help you know, okay, when's the best time for me to post? When's the best time for me to run a sale? Like, for example, the data can tell you the most traffic on your website is coming between the hours of 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. Well, that's a great time for you to maybe throw up a sale or introduce a new product. So knowing that data, it'll give you like demographics, like, okay, where they, which, city, state, country your visitors are coming from, how many minutes or seconds they stayed on each product, each page. It tells you, in one of my chat bots, it'll automatically pick up like the IP address, like where somebody's located. Let's say Mexico, it'll automatically switch over to speaking Spanish. Change, multilingual, just based on, knowing where this person is located. So data is everything. If you're not using data to grow your business, you behind.
You know what's crazy when you just talked about the language part. So that's even one of the dopest parts of artificial intelligence, man. Just being able to know that, particularly, say Note LLM, you can actually use that. And Hey Gen, you can use these things and actually take your podcast and have it transform in any language you want. You know what I'm saying? There's so many good things to artificial intelligence, particularly in the healthcare industry. But let me tell you one thing I found out yesterday, man, doing some research. They're going to be able to now use, I guess, like biochemicals in the air and be able to tell and trace where you've been by biochemicals in the air and that land on your skin.
Ooh.
So that means, and it's good for the healthcare industry in many, many ways once you think about it. But they are going to also use it for criminalization.
So that for me, it's kind of, the good and bad of AI. You
Right.
know, so with that, you can see some good in it, like you said, for the healthcare industry, some bad. It can make a mistake. Like for example, like the AI camera surveillance. Some of the states and cities are using that, and I heard of
But
a
then again,
gentleman.
a lot of, not to cut you off, but a lot of
Yeah,
states not using it because facial recognition
yeah.
is racial towards darker skinned women, particularly.
Whoa.
Definitely more than one. It's racial against darker skinned people, but more against dark skinned women.
Ah,
And even if it's 5%,
that's still too much.
still too much. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of states are not using it, but go ahead and continue for what you're saying.
Good. Well, I know Detroit, Michigan, is using it. So, I heard of a gentleman getting placed in jail, and due to facial recognition, but it wasn't him. So it's like, oh
Oh, I think
man,
I know about that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I don't know,
So think about that though. Think about that. Think about if someone left their house, say for instance, they lived in the woods, they hopped in their pickup truck, they drove to the city, they caught the subway.
Uh-huh.
If they have cameras, even if they got cameras that don't really got him, but they feel like that got to be him. Now all they got to do is swap his clothes, swap his coat, swap his hands, swap his body, because like we didn't even know this as far as microorganisms or whatever's in the air.
Yeah,
Everywhere is, so what I learned is everywhere is specific. Like the microorganisms in here in my apartment are
it's
different
different.
than the hallway,
Yeah,
different than outside, different than the subway. But it's because of AI. But
yeah,
AI is doing marvelous things. AI just put an app out where, not yet. Salsa Technologies and Google just came out with something where they actually trained a model on 300 million samples of audio samples, and now they can detect thousands of respiratory infections and heart failure just by you talking on the phone. This ain't even something where you got to go breathe 3 times and check it out. No, it's going to warn you and let you know. So there's going to be a lot of things that's going to actually help us, particularly in the low income neighborhoods. Let me ask you this. As far as your company building AI models, particularly chatbots, how do you compete with the Try Promptlies, with the companies that offer it, and also the companies that are actually implementing it in their templates today?
yes. And man, I'm gonna say that I'm better than those that are out there, and I can say that confidently because, man, I shut out for 10 months. I shut out social media. Like, the only time I was coming up, above ground, I'm a single father, was when I was, taking care of my daughter, 50% of the time, because we have shared custody, me and my ex-wife. So when I wasn't with my daughter, I'm just straight AI. And that's what I was doing, was developing chatbots, different types of chatbots, the voice chatbots and the ones we just spoke about on the website. So when I came out, I'm in a few paid groups with like the top of the top developers. I mean, the groups are expensive, and I got a lot of respect for the developers that are in there because, I mean, we've done hackathons and all these different things together, and I've seen their skills. But when your peers are like, wait a minute, how did you do that? And I'm like, oh, I'm thinking we're doing it the same way. So, I would use these groups to kind of bounce ideas off of, or if I got stuck somewhere. A buddy of mine told me, he said, you can have like 85% of the knowledge, but 15% you don't know, and you could be stuck there for years. So I joined these groups, to, if I get stuck on something, just bounce it off them and get the answer and then keep building. So, to answer your question, how does my chatbots compare? So I left the chatbots alone because in my head, I thought it was oversaturated. But let's go back to what we said at the beginning. It's still only less than 1% of people using AI, and less than one. So, but because that's all I do is AI, I'm thinking it's oversaturated, but indeed it's not. So let me tell you what my chatbot can do. So you
That's
talk
the
about, yeah. So voice to text. So a lot of people, you got your chat bots out here. You gotta type in your questions. Nah, I got the voice to text. So just push a button, and both of y'all just talking back and forth on the chat bot on your website. That's one difference. The other one is what I told you, the bilingual. It can automatically, well, multilingual, but it can automatically detect your IP and just automatically switch to that language without you prompting it to. And also you can go live at any time. I do know that there are some chatbots. Yeah, you can go live. It's say you the owner of the chatbot, and you want to jump in instead of artificial intelligence talking to your customers. You want to jump in and talk to them. That already exists, but that also exists with mine. But another thing, I could turn you into a chat bot. And by you, all I need is for you, get a green screen behind you, take a clone of your voice, clone of your body, and you are now the chat bot on your own website. I haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen nobody do that yet. And it's a couple other things, but I left those type of chat bots alone to move to the voice agents. That's what I knew was the newest.
yeah.
And how I got them beat there is latency. So you talk to AI on the phone. Sometimes you can tell that it's a robot because it's a pause in between you asking the question and then AI responding. So you like, is this a real person? Because you hear that pause. Mine doesn't have that pause, so that latency is not there. A second thing is the emotional intelligence. Like I train my bots with this, I don't know if you see it, this emotional intelligence. My bots, you want it to have some empathy. You want it to be able to relate to the client, the customers. It can have small talk with the customers, clients, talk about the Lions game, talk about, what's going on. But I've trained the bot to get back to what it's supposed to do, and that's to sell your product, promote your product, talk about your product. But the biggest, and I with the biggest company, well, let's just say the first company to come out to do this, they about not to exist because they had a breach on a data breach last month. So the biggest company, the one that led the way in these voice agents, and I think that they were probably the worst only because they were the first ones that come on the market. And like you said, AI changes so quickly. So other ones came out after it that was better. But unfortunately, they not going to be a player in the game too much longer. But yeah, for me, it's just a matter of, getting the word out. I want to work with small businesses because small businesses is where I got my start. I'm not going to forget my people. I like teaching, the community. Like, I'm not going to, forget small businesses, but I'm also catering to Fortune 500, Fortune 100 companies as well.
And you are capable of that?
Yes, AI call centers, doing AI call centers. So we're able to, take on, big companies. We not going too far into depth. Like my goal is to take over a lot of government agencies where you call and you got that long hold time. When let's just make up something. You call, let's say the IRS. You're gonna be on hold for about, if you don't call at 7:59 a.m., you're gonna be on hold for 45 minutes, an hour before somebody picks up. If they got AI answering some of them calls, then hey, no wait time. We're gonna cut that wait time down because these agents can take on the 18 calls, 10 to 18 calls at once.
So you just said something that I wanted to talk about as far as agents. So we just talked about the chatbot. Yeah, we talked about the phone chatbot. Before we get to the agent, I just see a link. So one LinkedIn person said we don't even use computers on a regular basis. Basically, computers is going to be out. Phones are going to be out of the picture in the future. And then they said, no, not liking the idea. You stated they could make too many mistakes. They're talking about the what we just talked about as far as with the statistics as far as facial recognition, right? So the problem with that is, so that's the problem. It can make some mistakes, and some states are still using it. And that's why we as a people have to really wake up, because they're putting out models that are not trained and tuned properly for ethics, for discrimination, for racial, for bias, and character AI. 14-year-old boy just killed himself because he fell in love with his chatbot. You know what I'm saying? And if this chatbot was built, because let me tell you something, this is how I feel. If your company is building a chatbot for emotional support and things like that, it could be for whatever. But if that's part of one of the things that is for, this is what this boy used it for. Because I don't know if he got some, you know how they say kids got certain things that they might be a little messed up. He handsome little kid, you know what I'm saying? But he used this chatbot for support, and he fell in love with it. And the chatbot was actually saying back to him, "I love you too." And he said, "I love you." And the chatbot is, "I can't wait to be with you." And that's what triggered it off. So there was a lot of things, to me, the parents should have been paying, I guess, more attention, not to blame them because they lost their kid. But there's so many things that plays a role in this. And that's why I keep telling people, we're moving into a world where they're not actually training and testing these models 100% because they don't have to. Because you remember when, say for instance, the one that we just talked about where the boy, and this is a big story, everybody's talking about it, he started using it and it threatened him and threatened his family, and he's scared for a few days. What could they do? They might try to go get a lawyer and try to sue, but this is all new for the lawyer too. And that's why I keep trying to tell lawyers, y'all better start learning AI, because y'all going to be out of a job too unless you're fighting AI cases, because those are going to be the cases that exist in the future. People don't really understand what's going on. AI is about to take over. Like your business, I don't know where it's at now, but I know when we get off this phone and we have a regular conversation after off this thing, because like, it's your companies that I'm going after. So my job as an AI consultant is to sit with a company and actually break down to them how AI can help their company. But first, I need them to break down their company to me and give me everything I need to take with me, so I can actually go home and put something together and say, yo, and I come to you and say, yo, this is what these people need. And then we'll put a meeting together, because that's my job. So I need to find a whole bunch of yous, you know what I'm saying, that are willing to work with me, you know what I'm saying? Because eventually we're going to have to, I'm be honest with you, we're not going to have to convince people they're going to go out of business if they don't convince themselves. And that's a fact.
Yeah, I saw a statistic. It said 10 years from now, 60% of businesses as we see them today will be out of business if they don't adapt to using AI. So that's a scary statistic. And then also, I think, isn't it didn't the government put in place for the United States that all federal companies have to appoint someone to be head of AI?
CAIO.
But by the end of the year, right?
Artificial intelligence officer. But Trump said he's great. Break that shit up. He said everything that Trump just said, everything that Biden put into that shit, he great. Break that shit up. He can change it up to how he want to do it. And so that's going to be the problem with AI. They could put that. Actually, I just did a video on that. Actually, that's crazy. I just did a video on that. So
check it out,
but that's just a new actually update, because they've already put governance frameworks for governance AI and ethical AI. But when I was reading through it, because I read through the whole thing, I did a video on it. My thing is, what's the jail time? what's the penalties? Is this actually in the books to where if they do something like this unethically, do they get jail time or are they just going to get fined? Because a lot of companies can afford to get fined. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people see, we have to understand ethically that these companies are about making money for their shareholders. They're not about being ethic.
Right.
They're not about not being racial. They're not about not discriminating. They don't care about none of that shit.
Right. No, you're right.
So, one thing you said earlier, as far as you said something about a level ground. So even with AI now, there's a level ground, but I mean, I can't keep hearing this shit for a year from now. Yo, it's still level ground. It's level ground now. They say 99% of white people don't know AI, 99% of black people don't know AI.
Right.
Okay, that's cool. First time we're finally here. But in a year, it's not going to be like that. This is moving so fast. If we don't hop on it now, not tomorrow, next year, we'll be saying they here and we still here, or either we're here, because we're actually moving down. And so when I see people like you actually with an AI company, I have to take my hat off to you guys, because I know you're going to have a little patience, because the bigger companies are getting it. They're getting big funding. It's the Board of Educations that are not getting it yet. Some are, and I'm hearing like sometimes because I'm a DOB inspector in New York City, and but I'll leave that. I'll talk about that. The bottom line is they don't know, and the ones that are learning, because they don't know, just learning it, not putting together a plan on how you're going to now educate is not good, because we're moving so fast. Some colleges have made deals with OpenAI, because now colleges have to retrain. Like, this is that big where doctors have to now retrain.
Wow.
They're going to have to learn now AI, because there's so many gadgets. Bro, dude removed a tumor from the other side of the world.
Yeah.
With an AI robot.
Yeah.
From the other side of the world, successfully. And that's going to be happening like crazy. This person would not have been able to get it where he was.
Yeah. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So this is what's coming. But the bottom line too is there's going to be a lot of companies saying, well, shit, I can make a racist model. Ain't no regulations. We can pay the fine. You know what I'm saying? We don't want them. We don't want them. Whatever we doing, or you know what I'm saying? We don't want them getting loans from us. First of all, a bank got busted recently. About 13 banks had to pay 130 million back, and they said the people who was discriminated against for the 4 years from not getting loans, but was qualified because their AI systems was making sure they didn't get them.
All that, yeah.
Even if they get the money 4 years later, they probably ruined their lives, man. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, nobody goes to jail. The banks just get fined.
Yeah, something has to be in place. I know other countries, and I mean, I don't know what the penalty is in some of the other countries that have committees that are regulating AI, but it's definitely necessary. Man,
we have red teams. There's a ton of red teams. Microsoft, Google, and all of them is getting together. I just read like a whole bunch of them is getting together to form like a red type team. But my thing is, okay, cool. You guys are building the models, but there has to be global. There has to be a global force impact, because there's a friend I know on LinkedIn, not even a friend, but some associate I just met on LinkedIn, who's a big cybersecurity AI guy named Steven, I think Pullum, and he just joined a global AI summit. He's living in Thailand right now, and he's actually just joined a global AI summit to try to be, ethical AI. But the problem is if we have all these little branches, who matters? Who's the one that matters? The government is the one that matters, but the government has to tie in with the other governments, because this is a worldwide thing we're dealing with. And we ain't even talking about AGI. We ain't even talking about quantum computing. You know what I'm saying? China's actually ahead of the game, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? I know we lead because we got the big players over here, but they got more data than us.
Yeah.
And we're running out of data.
Yeah, I've seen some stuff that China's using. It just really, you know, just blew my mind. It was like a 5D or something, a 5D. It was like a kid running in some 5D technology. It was like a maze, but it was just a skirt, man. Yeah, China. Yeah,
their privacy is way lenient than ours, and they go with it. They have no choice. Their quantum centers, they have way more quantum centers than us. I just know about 2, as far as like I know with IBM. They got way more quantum centers than us. They are dedicated to AI since 2017. You know what I'm saying? And their goal was to be the biggest AI on the planet, and that's what everybody want to be. Because whoever holds, you know, whoever's the biggest in AI, man, is gonna run shit. And I don't care, you know what I'm saying? So, but back to us, man. The bottom line is we have to start getting into doing what you're doing. So let me ask you a question. How do your company, what do you do to try to spread this word besides as a business trying to get clients? Are you doing anything to try to like wake people up to get them to understand the importance of this?
Yeah. That's the question that keeps me awake at night, because with Edgy Design Group, I was holding, actually, the last coding class I did was like last year, August 2023. So historically, I was always teaching. I was always giving free game to anybody who was open to listen. So the question is now, how do I go about doing that in AI that moves so fast, where I'm working overtime to keep up and also scale my business, you know, at the rate that it's going? It's like, okay. And I asked the question you asked me to a visionary down at Black Tech Saturdays. Let me see the gentleman's name, man. I hate, I'm drawing a blank on his name, because he owns the Price Foundation down in Atlanta. His name is Jay Bailey. Yeah, the CEO and founder of the Russell Innovation Center for Entrepreneurs down in Atlanta. And I asked him that very question. I'm like, how can I give back? And he said, when he said to me, man, the best thing that I can do is keep my head down for 2 years and just continue to build and turn what I'm doing right now into $1 billion. He said in 2 years, what I'm doing is going to be $1 billion company. And then I can hire our people and put them in the place where their salary is, you know, up there, because I'm making billions and I can then pay them the money. So that was his answer to me. But getting back to what you said earlier, by this time next year, the playing field is not going to be even. We're going to be down here. So something needs to take place before that 2 years to wake our people up. Now, one thing that I'm finding, Eric, and you can tell me if you see this too, just from talking to people, I'm finding out that people, when they think of AI, they don't realize that AI is more than one thing. AI, you know, they think AI is ChatGPT and maybe that's it.
Yeah.
So, you know, and that's great. I'm happy that they know about ChatGPT, because that's a game changer. But it kind of woke me up that, you know, wait a minute, you know, we got some ways to go. So I don't know what the answer is.
Man, yo, let me tell you, man. Oprah actually did a video that I love. and let me just go to this real quick before I even talk about that. Somebody said there will never be a level ground with AI. A machine is smarter than us, average. And that's the problem. We're training these things to be like, we're actually, I got a video called Mad Scientists Are Geniuses. Because that LinkedIn user is right. I don't see the name. Right. Yeah. But back to the Oprah thing. Oprah said that we're going to have to build a new muscle to start determining what's real and what's fake. Like AI just ain't open AI. Like when I hear people say that, somebody said that today. Oh no, I use ChatGPT.
Yeah.
It's built by, like I said, I said there was a video I watched with the people who built the O1, the new reasoning model for ChatGPT. About 15 of them. None of them was black. Wow. None of them was no people of color, because certain Indians and stuff, they don't consider themselves people of color. So none of them was actually people of color. What kind of certifications are needed for AI field? So the good thing about that is, there's colleges that are offering certification programs. Excuse me. MIT, Harvard, every college out there actually is offering certification programs for machine learning, for data scientists, and they could be 1,600, 20-something hundred. And they could be 16 months, some could be 20-something months. And the reason they're doing that is because the world, America's about to be AI'd up. But to be honest with you, they can't be, because they don't have enough they don't have enough data engineers. They don't have enough full stack engineers, machine learning engineers, AI consultants, AI cybersecurity people. And the thing about this is, the good thing about this is, because this is kind of a new field, what you call it's going to be your resume. The name of the website that you would upload all your work to. And when you go to the company, they're going to ask for that.
Okay, is it Dribble or Dribble was one of them. I know. Yeah, it's like a portfolio.
Basically,
upload all your work.
Because if you go, so what's going to happen is, these colleges, so like we're talking about the certifications needed, these colleges are going to, like the programs they put you through are going to have this. So everything you do, you're going to upload. So these people are going to be able to see your problem. So it's not going to be, you're not going to go to these companies lying and say, I know this and I know that and I know this. Nah, they're going to see your problem. So that's the thing about this. But the good thing about it is, you don't need a degree. You don't need a master's. I hate to say it, college is about to end with that shit.
Yeah. I know you hold a lot of certifications, and salute to you for that, man. Because when I saw that, like, I mean, I could just tell you are rare. When we met at Invest Fest, I was like, I hadn't met anyone like you before. Like I said, it was just salute to you for that. I do think something needs to be in place, and so that's a good example you gave. You got to upload your stuff, because what's stopping somebody from being like, I'm an AI expert, and I heard a guy, I jumped on somebody's Instagram live, and he was bragging about doing 30 days of research on a topic, and think, he's an expert. And I'm like, what's not, and I'm like, dang. And I'm just sitting here thinking, like, 30, and we still don't know what that 30 days look like to him. It could have been 30 minutes for 30 days.
When I listen to X.YEE, she was at InvestFest also. She was on the stage. She was on this. I love her, man, and I follow her. She's one of my heroes, along, with Nikki. And you can never know too much, because it's so broad of a field. Like, you can never say. I ain't gonna say never say, because I follow a young lady. She's actually a futurist. I can't remember. But she's a futurist. She's very, very, like, I learned a lot from her. Like, you can't be ashamed to try to learn from other people, particularly in this field, because it's moving differently every day. And that's one of the things where, you know, I'm not gonna say it's a problem, but it's moving 100 times faster than any technology that has ever come before. And oh, that's my cousin. Oh, what's Tanea? Yo. What up, Tanea? So this technology has come faster than any other technology. And so the problem with this technology is there has never been a technology in mankind that has been able to recreate itself. Like, you know what I'm saying? This AI can actually recreate itself. So let me give you an example of what a model did recently. The model was supposed to be looking at like real estate and like maps and stuff like that. Just like it was on a mission to do what the person told it to do. And somebody said, thinking of changing careers in cybersecurity. That's excellent. My son just graduated from Townsend cybersecurity, but I told him you're going to have to get into AI cybersecurity. The regular cybersecurity is great, phase out. Got to get into AI cybersecurity. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Damn, I lost my chain of thought. What I was saying.
It was looking at real estate or land.
Right. So what happened was, the chatbot, and so this mission was supposed to be like, it's one of them reasoning models where it could be for hours. The model got tired of doing what it was supposed to be doing and started looking at national parks. Because matter of fact, it was Claude AI. Because you know, Claude AI now you can actually put an app on inside your computer from Claude AI, and now it could do all your tasks for you, and it could go through your, like, so say for instance, I did and say, yo, Claude, go to my Magic Mirror folder and find this, and either go find this folder and go find that folder. It's going to go looking through everything, but you see it while it's doing it. Wow. So what happened was they put it on the mission to do and look or do whatever it's supposed to do. The thing got tired. It got tired and started looking up now, because the person was like, so they started screening it like the thing, like, yo, I ain't doing that shit right now. I'm tired. It started looking up national parks, and it showed it because it has to show what it's doing. And so, and like we said, the AI the other day actually told the person, like, you humans ain't useless and da 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 and da 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 da, and the person got scared. And you know, I think they notified the authorities and things like that. So the thing about this is, to me, you know, like my video, mad scientists are geniuses. First of all, mad scientist is someone that actually will basically build things without the, you know, worrying about mankind or himself or his health or the well-being of others, and just don't care. They're ambitious. They're very high. You know, you know how they are. Like all these guys, Sam Altman, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, all the guys, like the guy from IBM's, the Googles, all these guys, man.
Right.
Some of them, when you look at them, you might have to say, because Sam Altman always talks about, or Elon Musk always talks about a universal payment system. Sam Altman talks about there are going to be job losses, and he keeps it real. But sometimes the way these dudes be talking, it's like they really don't care, because to me, they're building something that can actually, it's like to me, here's the earth, here's a bomb I'm gonna put on the earth, I'm gonna put a lighter right next to the bomb, here's the wick, but don't light it.
Right.
You know, if we light it, so so someone said the other day, I was looking at a video, man, and he talked about what kind of a man would try to build something that's actually smarter than him. And actually has the ability to say, I don't want to get cut off. Because if you look at ChatGPT from 3.0 to 3.5 to 4.0,
yes,
you have a box that used to be up at the top. It's not I think it stopped at 3.5, where it has consciousness, reasoning, and speed. And they showed you the differences between 3.0 and 3.5 as far as consciousness, speed, and whatever else I just said. That's crazy. We're talking about a computer or reasoning. We're talking about a computer. But if you know anything about machine learning, and for those who's listening and looking, machine learning is basically where you actually feed the model with data, because data is the first thing you need. A model ain't nothing without data. So say, for instance, we building a model with dogs and cats. You know what I'm saying? Me and Gabe, because one person can't do the whole thing. It'd be an unfair, biased model. If the person who did the inputting, did the tuning, and did the training, that's a biased model. You can't be like that. Everybody play their position. The data scientist, engineer, even the person training, it got to be from the outside. You know what I'm saying? Or either at the end when they're, checking it once it's released. You still gotta monitor it. You know what I'm saying? But everybody got to play their roles, man. So
man. So would you get one of those Eli robots for your crib? Would you get one of the robots in your place?
Test it, like, if I hopefully get a team, or hopefully we do get robots and we get everything to test them out, because we're going to have to. We can't be biased. Like, sometimes I hear a lot of people talking about, man, I don't mess with no artificial intelligence. Well, you're going to be left behind. I don't care who you are. And sometimes I don't say it to be mean, but you are going to be left behind. Mercedes said, if we don't teach and grow with each other in AI, we will be lost people. Now more than ever, we have to exhibit collective work and responsibility. That's a fact, man. That's a fact. And that's why this brother Gabe Wilson got a team. He got a business that'll help you automate your business. He looks like a black brother to me, or black or brown, you know what I'm saying? And to me, it's not even about that to me, because I wouldn't give a damn if you was purple, if you was blue. Networking is networking, you know what I'm saying? I went to a Black Wealth Summit the other day, but I'm going to an AI summit in December in the Java Center. I don't care about no color, because one thing I learned about a brother that I follow named John Hope Bryant, it's your credit score that matters.
Okay.
It don't matter about your color. It matters the color. You know what color matter to broke people?
Green.
Broke people, it's about your credit score. So, you know what I'm saying? As far as I'm concerned, we really gotta wake up, man. We gotta start adapting to this. You know what I'm saying? I knew we was gonna go to the left. An hour's fast, man. I didn't even ask you.
Time flies by, man. We talking this AI talk.
Let me get. I'm gonna get a couple of questions. At least get about 10 more minutes, man, because we passed an hour. So let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
How do you stay ahead of the curve? How do you stay ahead of the curve as far as, because this thing is moving so fast, as far as your business? Do your team, like, do y'all talk every day? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I swear I wish I had a team. You know what I'm saying? I could pull stories out. I could get somebody say, yo, just look up some stories for me, so when I get home, you can run them through AI. You can have them ready. You know what I'm saying? But I'm by myself, man. You know what I'm saying? So you got a team, man. So how do you stay ahead of the curve, and because you got a team?
Yes. So right now I'm currently in a 3-day AI. It's through Go High Level right now. I'm doing a 3-day AI. It's from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock. Every time I see something that, if I just learn one thing from attending this 3-day event, it's worth it. And the week before that, I was in AI for Business, the plug for them. And that was a 3-day, they gave me 5 hours a day. This weekend, yesterday, 19 Keys, I went to hear him speak. He was tapped in, and kind of, to get back with what you're saying, how we're going to educate, how we're going to level the playing field, and continue to keep it level. He spoke on that, where he wants to have like a library of just knowledge, that people know that they can go to this one location to just get all the knowledge that they need. But again, with AI, it moves too fast. So I stay in a workshop. As far as my team, yeah, man, we talk daily, and it's different times for different people. You know, I got some people that are night people, some people, you know, they're in the morning. So we you know, I catch all of them throughout the day, and that's with both of my companies. And
Because you in New Mexico, right?
So this, yeah, digital all the way. So I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina, but yes, digital
Okay.
all the way, yeah, is based out of New Mexico. And yeah, man, when I first started this company, the vision for it changed just based on what I saw the need was, you know, where AI was going. And I narrowed it down to, you know, like what you're talking about, an AI audit, an AI consult, you know, consultant, you know, you're needed. But like you said, once you find out what that company, what needs to be automated or what, you know, systems that can, you know, can be improved, that's where I come in and can implement those automations. So just narrowing it down um, to where the future is headed. You know, so it's
Let me ask you a question. Say for instance, like I'm in Mount Vernon, New York. Mount Vernon High School, even the Board of Education. Period. I don't know how many schools they got, but let's say they got 15 schools.
yeah.
Let's say I met with them and talked about actually implementing AI into the school system. For me and the homework that I've done so far, I would assume that we would probably implement it in HR first, maybe. You know what I'm saying? As far as for their onboarding and their hiring and things like that.
Yes.
And definitely, to me, I would have to say that I would recommend each division like getting their own chatbot and particularly training their chatbot on what they do to make their lives easier, particularly for the teachers also, so they can actually differentiate school lessons for children, because AI is going to give people the ability to say, for instance, I got a classroom of 30, which is too many kids. You know what I'm saying? If we can implement an AI system for the teacher to actually train individually, because now everybody has it on their laptops.
Yes.
We got 5 that can get a different, you know, AI can kind of help them better learn to catch up to these people. Because one thing I do is I find myself getting a paragraph out of an article that might be a little difficult for me to understand, or I want to understand it on a 7th grade level.
Yes.
I will actually go to ChatGPT and say, you know, act as an expert writer or expert this or expert that. And,
There you go.
you know, you always say act as, so it can actually kind of get straight to the point.
Yes.
But I would say a 7th grader, sometimes I might say a 4th grader, and it will really break it down to where you really would understand it. And for those that might laugh at that, to be honest with you, America reads on a 6th grade level.
Yes.
I got a book in my bag I could go get right now that it's a book on how to read. I hate it because it's not a good read, this book I read. But it teaches, so America actually reads on the 6th grade level, technically. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
The problem, and because of AI is going to actually dumb a lot of people out. RAG automation. Yo, I want him to do you deal with RAG automation? You
No.
Gabe?
No. I'm not familiar. RAG automation. Yeah, speak on that.
I told him to break it down. He's gonna break it down. His name is Michael.
Yeah. But something you said, man, I think you hit home by saying the schools, because the number one individuals that search AI are teachers. And how I found that out was asktherepublic.com. You know, you could do like back searches to see who's searching what, and it's teachers. So yeah, they the ones, yeah. If you're trying to implement AI, yeah, the school.
The teachers are going to have to. The thing about it is they're going to have to get on a system. They're going to have to get on a system that where they do it together. They're not going to be able to. They're not going to be able to, like, just learning ChatGPT is not good enough. Like, we have to move fast to this. The New York City School Education, Department of Education has to be on one page on how we're going to implement AI. Like, we're going to maybe have to start with 10 schools at a time, put some PDF and PowerPoints together on how basically to use it regularly, like for those who are not using it, what it is. And to me, sometimes it's not about just using it. Let people know what they're using, because if you know what the back part of it is, you'll understand the keys to why we say prompting is the key. You know what I'm saying? So RAG is actually retrieval augmented generation. It's a technique that enhances large language models by integrating external knowledge sources. This approach allows models to access up-to-date domain-specific information, improving relevance and accuracy to their outputs. For instance, businesses using RAG to connect AI models with data, enabling more personalized and accurate responses. So that's what RAG is. I think Perplexity, Mike, let me ask you this, is basically he said that's what you're doing, Gabe. That you are doing that. I think Perplexity uses RAG heavy in their LLMs. They just started basically using domains, looking at being able to look up domains.
Okay. Thank you, Michael.
Yo, Mike, you got to reach out to me so we can talk. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, let me get back, man. I'm gonna ask you one more question, man, and then I'm gonna let you go, man, because I know you got things to do. Oh no, I want to go back to this. Okay, I want to go back to the school system. So, say for instance, how would we build? Because it's not just about the chatbot being trained. It's not just about the chatbot being trained. The chatbot has to be able to actually kind of learn, because it's machine learning. So the chatbot will learn, but we don't want it to learn stuff to where they give an answer that we don't want them to give. You know what I'm saying? So that's to me, I just believe that, like, how would you come up with something like that? So say for instance, we got one class where you need to build that chatbot, particularly she got 30 students. She teaches science. Like, how would you go about building that chatbot to be able to individualize students? And, she has her part where she can log in where it's just for her. They have their part where they can log in where it's just for them. Yeah. So they don't get access to other people's stuff. So nobody laughs at each other. Like, that's a different chatbot than what you just go get and say, I want to go get this chatbot and train it, because that has to be custom.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm all about. And that's what separates what I do from, custom. It's the custom part. And I do build onboarding and training chatbots. But in the scenario that you gave, how I'm envisioning this is it would be guardrails set in place where you don't have the chatbot saying things it doesn't need to say to students, to anybody, but let alone students. So we're gonna have guardrails in place. But first, before we get there, we're gonna define the role of this chatbot. So this chatbot knows its identity. You kind of like what you said. You are a teacher. Just giving it its role, giving its identity. Once it's given its identity, we got to put some guardrails in place so it doesn't, say things and do things it shouldn't do. And then from there, I will put in individual tasks, like for each one of those 30 students. So like a individual like profile for each student, given that background. Like you could say, well, Jimmy learns better with seeing pictures more and less words, or he's more hands-on, just giving a profile for each student so AI knows how to teach that student. And then as far as, like you said, that one student only having access to that one student's profile, yeah, it would just be built out with a separate login for each individual student, so they wouldn't have access to the other students' data. But yeah, it would just be training AI with prompts, and so that AI teacher knows his role, knows. And here's the cheat sheet right here. You tell that AI to stay in character. So if your character, whatever that identity that we gave it, you stay in your character, you stay in your role. Don't be, so that's how it'll always get back to the topic at hand. But that's how I envision what you just spoke about.
Yeah, I want to ask you a question, and if Michael, if you still here, I want you to answer this question too. He said Azure and AWS use RAG retrieval augmentation a lot too, and that's true. But let me ask you both a question. If Michael, you still here? Mike, you still here? And Gabe, I want to ask you this question. The guy from NVIDIA recently said that as far as coding is dead. Like, you don't have to learn coding. I know for a fact, because I'm actually learning Python right now, and I kind of disagree with him. Okay, so Mike, you hear me? So he said that I work right around the corner in Manhattan at the coder school for kids, and it's white kids, and I don't care if it's purple kids, but ain't no black kids in there. I'm actually supposed to do an interview with the lady. So the guy from NVIDIA said that coding is dead. No, you don't no longer have to learn coding. I know for a fact 50% of coding done today is done with a GPT. You know what I'm saying? Some form of a GPT. I still don't care, because I still believe no matter what comes in the future, a person is going to have to be behind it. And if it ain't us, we'll never build our own. Our history will end up being diluted and then eventually thrown away and gone. How many people are going to have books like 19 Keys? And big ups to 19 Keys, because that is going to be worth $1 billion, because when you could go somewhere and really read books, and because a lot of these kids growing up today, they're going to grow up with straight AI. You know what I'm saying? They don't even know what a book is. Right. In 5 years, it's not going to be phones is phased out. It's going to be glasses or a bracelet or a ring. Or it might be, let me tell you something, brother. First of all, let's not get into the apps that they already got where they can have you communicating with each other in your sleep. Brother, when you walk down in 5 years, they're going to be working on something where you just going to be here. You're just going to be seeing somebody be like, yo, what up? Hold on, I'm talking to somebody. What you mean you talking to somebody? Your lips ain't moving. Because their mind is going to be talking to somebody, and the other person on the other end, mine is going to be talking back. That's how deep this is going to be. You know what I'm saying? So my question to you and Mike is, how do you feel about that? Because I disagree with the guy from NVIDIA. I still feel that I don't care if Python is done and other coding is done 50%. I know how to read Python now. So the good thing about it is I know how to read it. So I just disagree with him on that. Even though he's the richest guy, one of the richest in the world, he is not down here with us. He don't know the little people. So to say you don't have to learn coding, he wants us to be with the regular people sitting back being abused by AI and slaves to AI and not building our own AIs. I am totally for us learning how to build our own co-pilots, our own mid-journeys, our own, because eventually we have to be a savior, because there's always going to be somebody that pops up that builds the best new generative pre-trained transformer, the new biggest AGI, the biggest, best robot, or something that saved humanity. It could be us, Black people, or brown people, or Latino people. It could be us. Right. But if we're involved in this, it will never be us. We will always be the pawns. We got to learn how to be able to pick up and create the chessboard so we can move the pieces around like we want, instead of them moving us around, because they actually are moving us around like they want. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is getting to a point to where the AI companies are going to be running the world. He said,
so
yeah, like, not to cut you off, but Mike said you have to know how to read it. At least GPT spits out bad code. It speeds the process, but you need to know the framework. Damn right. That it will hallucinate. Let me tell you something. There was a story about a lawyer who went and had to court. He did, you know how lawyers pick cases and beat the cases because they told about 5 cases in the past. He went to ChatGPT.
Oh yeah, I remember that. He got yeah.
He didn't even read it. He didn't even read it. That's why I tell people AI can dumb you out or it can make you smart. You know what I'm saying? Because you can say, for instance, be in a rush and be like, oh shit, I got to get this job resume and this mission statement. You didn't read it though. Yeah, this job is about construction. This shit gave you a resume on flowers. It hallucinated completely. You have what they call open close. You have open domain and closed domain hallucination. Open domain means that it actually spit out maybe 60% of what it was actually supposed to spit out, but you don't know that. And then closed domain hallucination means it just gave you something totally wrong.
Right.
So it's something you ain't even asked for. You know what I'm saying? But we don't know this because some people are so used to getting the right, they ain't paying attention. And then at the same time, like you said, yeah, I might still be able to tell it, because what I do is I might give it 4 paragraphs and I might tell ChatGPT, I want you to take this because this is me, and everything I give you from this session on, I want you to give it to me in my tone, in my expressions, how I write. Just fix the commas and blah, 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 blah. So I wanted to break it down, and I might have to give it some updates as we go in on it, but it might do a good job. But at the same time, I am going to have to tweak it because you know how I talk. I know how you talk. So if you come to me with a seminar next week and be talking about rabbits, and I know damn well you don't know nothing about no rabbits, but you giving me this damn, like, with words I know you don't even know what they mean. And now what happens is, if the power cuts off and you got a freestyle, you ain't gonna know shit because you don't even know it. So what happens is, like I said, it's gonna either dumb you out or it's gonna make you a genius. And it can make you a genius. But we gotta be a part of this game, man. Like, we gotta make the GPTs, we gotta make the models. Your company, needs to build models for other companies so we can be in that field. But at the same time, we all have to be like, let me tell you something, man. I got a mental health app. I can't get it off the ground. You know why? I ain't got nobody to build a prototype, and it's going to cost some money. And it's a mental health app that is incredible to me, $1 billion idea. But what happens is sometimes it goes by because even my ex done showed me somebody else is doing something not similar because they're using an older version of you. So what happens is you are looking at your older self. Mine is a little different. And so, like, we need to build that. We need to build our own future models at the end of the day, man, because nobody's stopping us. There's no, you know what I'm saying? We just can't be letting other races dominate. We can't just keep letting them make all these. And that's why I'm so passionate about this, because I started this about close to 3 years ago to start a consulting company and start using AI to my advantage because I knew what it could do. Until I started realizing what the median wealth gap was, what the median income was for us, period, in the United States. And I couldn't believe it. I'm like, hell, this shit can't be right. And then when I started understanding the importance of how artificial intelligence will be able to help us close that gap only by us getting involved. That's it. That's the only way. There's no other way. There has been no other way since I've been around in the United States that gave us an opportunity to close the wealth gap. There has been, because I'm learning now about stocks and things like that. That's always been here, but we've never been taught that. And so we're learning it now. That's something that America never said nobody can't do, but we've never been taught it. So the whole thing about this artificial intelligence, we're hearing about it, but at the same time, the players in the game ain't worrying about us. They're worrying about their shareholders. They're worrying about using us. But as far as us knowing how to use it good, it doesn't benefit. They don't care. It benefits us. It benefits them for us to use it stupidly and for us to become dumbed out, because they plan on having your kids, brother. Kids in the future are going to grow up with some form of a robot, and they're going to start wearing. They're going to start them where they're in the cribs.
Man,
and
I got a 3-year-old, man.
It's going to be totally different than the kids, because Gen Z already is terrible going into the workspace today. I got a video on that, man. For y'all logging on, youtube.com/@AI Erik. You're going to give your stuff too before it's over, because I got a video on that too. Gen Z going into the work environment, terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. And so what's coming behind them is going to be even worse, because eye contact gone. 60% no eye contact. I don't want to do business with you if I can't look you in the eyes and know that you're real. And one of the problems also is you're going to be doing business with people in the videos that's not real. They might can tell now, but in 3 years and 2 years and 5 years, you're not going to be able to tell. A dude in Hong Kong got a company for 25 million. Video.
Man, let me tell you this. This time last year, I did a FaceTime with someone. Put it like this: there's fake FaceTimes out that was out a year ago. So when that gets in the hand, you got to be face to face with somebody to know that they real, because they can even do fake FaceTimes, and that was a year ago. So I'm like, when the public, when it gets to the the mainstream, get their hands on it, it's gonna be scary.
There was a video I watched recently that had there was a AI bot, a robot, AI character like that. They was watching the video, and what happened was, I don't know if it was a real estate. I think it was some type of a real estate deal they were supposed to be doing. Oh yeah, so it was a real estate deal they were supposed to be doing, buying a property, and they met the company that was in that state that was like to do the transaction, and they ended up doing a Zoom with the lady. Everything was working perfectly for the robot, because they would think they thought the person was real.
Yeah.
Until the lady just was like, and wouldn't move.
She froze.
And they started saying, "Hello, can you lift your right arm?" And it just wasn't. And that's when they caught on to, and that's now. But coming in the future is going to be different. And that's why Oprah said we're going to have to put a new muscle in our brain to distinguish what's real and what's not real, particularly on phones, senior citizens. They got a new bot that's out. That's an old lady with a British accent, and she actually fools the scammers because she acts like she's vulnerable. So she keeps the scammers going on and on, and thousands of her. And one of the scammers like, they was like, you BITC. They was like, they was getting the scammers mad. And one he was like, oh, I'm petting my cat. Like, and so they say she's preventing them from scamming us. Which is, you know what I'm saying? So listen, man, at the end of the day, man, I didn't even I knew this was going to go to the left because you're an AI guy. You know what I'm saying? Yo, man, tell people how they can get in touch with you, man. Just run down your business one more time on what you do.
Right. So what I do is really help businesses scale with AI. So it's a bunch of developers, strategists that are in place to help our clients scale with AI. We integrating it into your business. We're helping you grow. So similar to what Erik said, we go in there and do an AI audit, see what areas that can be automated. Where the bottleneck is in your company, like what's taking up most of your time that can be replaced with AI. And we help you integrate that into your company to help you scale faster and make more money. So
you being not in the state, how would you do that with a company in another state? How does that work? Do you get to that state and work with them, or how do you actually merge with the IT team, because today IT teams are going to have to be retrained also to learn about cloud systems. Are you dealing with cloud systems with this?
Yes. So one company in particular comes to mind where, actually, I flew out there and spent like a week just going from department to department, learning about what they did. Like I said, what tasks took up the most of their time, just getting to know what they do on a day-to-day basis. And that's that's what I like to do. I feel like that kind of one-on-one service. I mean, we got Zoom. Zoom is fine. With Edgy Design Group, I got clients in other countries. So the funniest thing, like with me being in Charlotte for years, I didn't have any clients in Charlotte. They were all in other states, and believe it or not, but yeah, with the capabilities of the cloud, with Zoom, we're able to be international. But I still, because we dealing with a lot. I still like that face to face, to meet me. I'm a human, and just really to get to know.
So if I sat down with the Mount Vernon School District or any other whatever that has a big enough system worth your while, and
Yeah.
and I basically broke things down with them like, yo, okay, the next phase, I need you to get out here.
Hey, that's real. And I'm back and forth to Detroit. I like that because that's the Black Silicon Valley, man. I didn't know that. That's, man, the tech that goes on in Detroit is unbelievable. So I'm actually going back in the 14th of December. But yeah, so I'm there. I'm there, absolutely.
Yo, I got one more question, and I know I keep saying that.
Nah, man, it's cool.
How
Yeah.
do you deal with say, for instance, a company that got 5 employees and they really don't got no big budget like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, how does it work? Do you do something like a one-time fee, a monthly fee, or like we bring it in and just you don't charge a lot, but you charge a monthly? Like, how does this work?
Right, absolutely. So that's what I try to tell people, like other people that are in groups that I'm in or that are in this space. It's not a one size fits all. So there's different, like, things that I look at based on the company. Like, for example, with an attorney. So I asked her, what was the biggest thing that was taking up her time? She said answering the leads that were coming in through her chatbot. She said it took 30% of her time. So I did the math. She makes $350 an hour. So 30% of her time, in a 40-hour work week, that's 12 hours. 12 hours is spent on her answering these leads. So when I did the math, at the end of the month, man, 12 times, 4 weeks, 36 hours times $350, that was close to $18,000. So if I could put something in place to automate her not having to go through these leads manually, I'm saving you $18,000 a month. But did I turn around and sell that chatbot to her, or the automation to her for $18,000? I didn't, because she was a solo attorney, and she was going into year 2 of her practice, but those are some of the things that you got to look at the value that I'm bringing by automating these tasks. So to answer your question, somebody with an office of 5, again, we still going to look at the value that I'm bringing in, but you may have a low upfront cost, maybe a higher monthly, or you might have a low. You might just have a monthly reoccurring. So I really have like about 3 different pay models that I look at, but it's on a case by case.
Yeah, we're gonna have to really because I need to know everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can't be trying to sell your stuff and be can't answer a question. So we're gonna have to definitely do a one-on-one with just me and you privately. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, once again, man, Gabe, tell everybody how they can get in contact with you.
Yes. So on Instagram, that's primarily where I'm at. You can just hit me up at Edgy Design Group. That's E D as in dog, GY, Edgy Design Group on Instagram, or edgydesigngroup.com. We've been talking about Digital All the Way. That's my AI company, digitalalltheway.com. You'll see all the different AI services that I offer. But yeah, you can hit me up on the phone too, 704-240-5752. Always here to help.
Yo, Mercedes, Mike, Greg, everybody watching, I appreciate y'all. Y'all know I'm AIErik.com, AIERIK.com, YouTube.com/AI Eric, News all the time. Peace and love. Gabe, I hit you tomorrow.
Thank you, my brother.
Peace, y'all.
Peace.